For whatever reason, here recently, we know that the Democrat Party has been extremely reactive and gambling, basically. And for somebody that lives in Las Vegas, I know a lot about gambling. And I can tell you this, they're picking a lot of losers, no winning issues, from having dudes fight women in sports to Abrego Garcia, which we're going to talk about today. Because, I mean, if we're going by Democrat appointed judges confirming that this guy is an MS-13 gang member, and if we're going by what the federal government says that MS-13 is a designated terrorist organization, there's no issue here. This is a losing issue, but it continues to be another thing that the Democrats have been doing. It's just like it's like picking the Cleveland Browns to win the Super Bowl every year. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, Cleveland. But no, we have a live shot. We're going to cut to it right now of Democrats picking their next issue, their next political football. Roll it.
Hold on. All right, 1680. Oh, one more. Oh my God, what am I doing? Stop. Oh, last one. Oh no.
Abrego Garcia told authorities they were going to do construction work, but there was no luggage in the car, and they all gave the same home address as Abrego Garcia. And that led police to suspect this was a human trafficking incident. Abrego Garcia, however, was not charged. The year before, Abrego Garcia's wife, Jennifer, had filed for a temporary protective order against him. She alleged that he punched and scratched her, ripped off her shirt, and grabbed and bruised her. She was pressed about those allegations, and here's her response.
I know this is a sensitive question, but I have to ask it. You did take out a temporary order of protection against your husband in 2021. Were you in fear of your husband?
My husband is alive. That's all I can say.
Okay, and I'm not going to push on that, apparently.
So this is exactly what I mean about Democrats picking losing propositions, right? Instead of getting together, coming up with policies and ideas that they can push in the next 2 years, they're literally running around going, ooh, squirrel, ooh, squirrel, ooh, squirrel. And they're playing directly in to the president's hand. He literally has them here like this going, constantly. They fall into it every time. They make the issue of Abrego Garcia. As you clearly saw, Michael Strahan asked a very basic question. Thank God for some journalistic integrity on that side. Like, asked, hey, did you file for an order of protection? And she just is like, at least my husband's alive. But the level of stupidity goes further because knowing, and here's the thing, the senator that went down to go have a conversation with them in drinks, by the way, the senator that went down to go have a conversation with him found out really quick and knew before he left, as did the rest of the Democrat Party and media that is pushing the narrative with this guy, that he'd been under investigation multiple times for human trafficking, had been a designated MS-13 gang member, not by a Trump or Bush or Reagan appointed judge, a Clinton appointed judge, and an Obama appointed judge. Oop, shocker, nobody wants to talk about that. Democrat appointed judges have already found that this guy should have been removed by order of removal. Period. All right. So there's already a order of removal on the books. And it's already documented through the courts, not through some other Mickey Mouse thing, and the media can't dispute that the dude is a designated MS-13 gang member. Not to mention being stopped in the vehicle with drugs and firearms and other stuff that he wasn't supposed to have when he got picked up in the first place. So this is a complete losing issue for Democrats, but it's no different than the issue of men and women's sports. But they stick with it. And until they get out of this retarded narrative, until they figure out, hey, we're being made to look like fools here, it's going to continue to happen. In fact, let me run this clip right here, because this has been a thing going on with the Democrats for 30 plus years. Don't believe me? Tell me the similarities between these two.
Protecting the constitutional rights of everybody who resides in the United States of America.
Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, who you just saw there, also met with Abrego Garcia in El Salvador. He's addressing what has been dubbed in some reports as Margarita Gate. It comes after photos were captured of the two with what looked like margaritas on the table during their meeting.
They look like margaritas, and if you look at the one they put in front of Kilmar, it actually had a little less liquid than the one in front of me, to try to make it look, I assume, like he drank out of it. Let me just be very clear. Neither of us touched the drinks that were in front of us.
Does that sound familiar?
But I want to say one thing to the American people. I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
Photos have emerged of Senator Van Hollen sipping what appears to be margaritas.
Yeah.
Abrego Garcia down in El Salvador. Do you encourage other Democrats to fly down to El Salvador to meet with this illegal alien who's an accused white?
I like this guy. See, now this is the kind of a reporter we like. There aren't enough of them. We got to get some more of them. But no, I appreciate that question. No, look, he's a fake. I know him. I know them all. They're all fake. And they have no interest in that prisoner. That prisoner's record is unbelievably bad. If you would go into the room, you might, if you would, Caroline, maybe go into the room and see if you can find that little slip. I wrote some things down. I don't know why you'd want to keep him, but we got a little biography of him.
Mm-hmm. Tell me that, oh, yeah, they put those drinks there, but we didn't drink them at all. Tell me that doesn't sound like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. I mean, come on, man. Look, one thing I can tell you as somebody who's done, who's worked in intelligence and reads people or read people for a living, right? Talking to somebody face to face, looking for cues, looking for lies, is that the person that has to expound on an answer before they give an answer, 90% of the time, is full of shit. So there you go. So look, did they drink those margaritas as part of Margarita Gate? Probably. If I was that dude and I've been in jail and I ain't got nothing going on and I know I'm just being held, even though I've been moved to a nicer jail, whatever you want to call that, yeah, I'm drinking that margarita, bro. I don't know what this senator is smoking, but I can tell you right now. And what did you accomplish by going down there to sit with this guy, right? You look like a fool now to your own constituents in the area where you're from. It's a non-winner, right? You have these, and here's the thing. They can't be like, oh, this is a Republican. No. These are Democrat judges. Even the judge that issued the order of protection, these are all in Democrat areas. These aren't Republicans. It's people that were appointed by Democrats or elected Democrats that list this guy is a bad guy, and now you're trying to make this guy look like he's a saint. You can't do it. Here's the thing. I don't even want to give advice to the other side, but it's really simple. You got to pick your battles. And picking scumbags as your champions is never going to let you win. Because, yeah, you'll get a soundbite here or there for a couple of days, and then you know what happens? The truth comes out. And then we find out that the guy's a human trafficker and used to beat the shit out of his wife. Tore her clothes off. This is all documented stuff. And not from Republican media, as they like to say, or anything else. Liberal media from liberal judges, elected and appointed. You have no wins here. If anything, there should be like, we don't want to talk about this anymore. If I was the DNC, because we know that the legacy media is in their pocket, there'd be a memo going out to be like, we don't want to talk about this dude anymore. Come on, can we just leave this alone? Let's just leave this alone. Let's find somebody else. Leave this alone. For real. So we can stop with the games. We know exactly who Abrego Garcia is. He's an MS-13 gang member who has been certified not once, but twice by Democrat-appointed judges. He's also got multiple orders of protection against him from his wife for tearing off her clothes, possibly SAing her at some point, not to mention human trafficking, drugs, guns, and everything else. So while the other side wants to make this guy a folk hero, sorry, it doesn't pass the smell test. And why the Dems, like some of these dumbass senators, want to be like, no, it's about due process. Genius. Just so you know, because you guys are the ones that pushed this law and pushed for some of these regulations and policies that the United States uses on terrorist Democrats. There is no due process for somebody who's part of a designated terrorist organization. They go to Gitmo. I don't know if you knew that or not. So you can talk about, oh, there's the due process. The due process is I'm not just defending this one person. I'm defending this for due process for everybody. These nuts is the process that you're defending. You're not defending due process. You're picking up a political football to try to make political points against a president that consistently, since he's been in office for 100 days, makes you look like a fool. Sorry, just the way I see it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, stay petty, my friends.